What do you do to ensure that your team is continuously improving? We are focusing in on teaming, what we call the Morpheus Essentials. That is the why, the who, and the how. And specifically today, we're going to explore the how in the context of how do we keep growing as a team? How do we avoid the trap of being so focused on what we're doing that we completely ignore how we're doing it? Let's explore that. The quote we're going to use for this exploration is from Robin Sharma, and we're going to kind of extrapolate. He has an individual message, and we're going to apply it to teams. And the individual message he has is this: by devoting yourself to continuous improvement and excellence in minor ways each day, your life really can transform. So how does this apply to teams? Well, if we in our teams devote ourselves to continuous improvement and excellence in minor ways each day, our teams can transform. So let's have a look at some of these areas. What are some of these things in the how of teaming? We are looking at things like, how do we want to be together? How do we want to make decisions? How do we want to handle conflict? How do we want to hold each other accountable? Because these are all part of the team getting to a high development stage. So let's have a look at this. What do we do? Well, first let me start with what the problem is. The problem is teams tend to focus on the what and forget about the how. Now, obviously the what is important, especially in the context of the why. Why does this team exist? What are we going to do to fulfill that? However, the how do we want to be together is part of that, because the how we want to be together can be an accelerator. It can provide us with frameworks and ways of improving how we do the what. It can improve problem solving. It can improve trust and speed things up through trust and collaboration and synergy. All of these things are part of the how, even right down to, are we using optimal technologies that we're teaming around? Are we having optimal team meetings where they are perfectly well facilitated? And most important of all, are we checking up that we are doing what we said we would do in our how? And so that's really what we're talking about. This continuous improvement is that introspection. And it's not that we put all our focus there. Let me give you one simple example. And I'm going to tell you more about this in the next video. But the simple example is this: if you have a participant observer in your team, what you have then is somebody who is participating in the meeting, but simultaneously they're taking some notes around, are we following our how? Are we interrupting each other? Is one person dominating? Are we following our procedures when we talk about conflict? Are we handling our decision making the way we agreed to do it? Are we holding each other accountable, or are we letting things slide? These kinds of things, these dynamics in the team, the participant observer will be observing while participating. So just be aware of it, taking some notes. And then at the end of the meeting, you give them simply 2 minutes. And in 2 minutes, they give feedback of their observations. So we're not saying this becomes the entire focus, but it's this little checkpoint. And other examples would be things like doing a retrospective. A simple way to do that I love is, what did we do well? What would we do differently? What did we learn? And if we keep doing that, we keep continually improving in small but significant ways. And that just takes our team firstly through the stages to stage 4, the performing stage, but even within stage 4, continually getting better and better and better and better. Higher levels of synergy, higher levels of trust, higher levels of efficiency, higher levels of effectiveness. That is the goal of continuous improvement. And you know what? When we do that, we have more fun. Teams that are functioning that way, you will find that your team meetings become so animated, so quick. Humor comes out. There are high levels of trust, high levels of creativity, and fun, but at a level of productivity that you'd previously never seen. That is it. It's not all work or all play, but it's both that result in higher productivity than you would have had either other way. Wouldn't you like that for your team? If you like this video, why not hit subscribe? That way you can regularly get conscious leadership updates in your YouTube feed.